Right, welcome, Masters of the Universe star Nicholas Galitzine. Interesting name. Says the reboot will move away from cartoon's campy tone. Not necessarily a bad thing. The other interview's not great though. I don't know. I don't think he's a good pick at all. Certainly not to play He-Man, but we'll see. We will see. We're going to take a look at this. Please do, ladies and gents, hit subscribe if you're a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed. Apologies for my low energy. I'm still very, very sick. Anyway, I've got two articles to take a look at. So there's this one here, which references a piece done by The Hollywood Reporter. And then there's one on Deadline, which is like their own sort of discussion with them, basically. So I thought we'd take a look at this first. Now, I've heard some stuff about this, is that boy howdy. I've heard some stuff that this is just, it is going to be a shit show. I've heard some things behind the scenes that it's bad. I also actually heard, which is interesting, is that it's still pretty campy. So I think even though you're trying to move away from the campy tone, you almost can't. Like some would say that's good, to be fair, because it keeps it at its core. But it's interesting. It is interesting how they're trying to stress, no, we're moving away from it. We're moving away from it. And then behind the scenes, it's still apparently campy and just a complete shit show. But anyway, let's take a look. So, this thing's moving ahead. Don't understand why. It's just bizarre. Super bizarre. Especially under the way that they're doing it. But the Hollywood Reporter spoke with Galitzine and asked if he's been watching the classic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon, and if so, how that compares to the upcoming movie. That's right, because he's so young, he wouldn't have ever watched it, which is just weird to think of as well. Says, I have, yeah. Look, what I will say is our version is quite different from the original animation, which we all agree was camp within its own right, and worked so well for the time. But there's been a couple of iterations, obviously, since there was the Revelation version of Masters of the Universe and the comics themselves. Bro. Don't ever reference Master of the Universe Revelations. Don't. That was a shit show. It says further, and we're very much treating our script as the Bible, or as our Bible. It's a weird misprint here. You know, but it's kind of amazing to hear what this show meant to a lot of people. It was really formative for a lot of people. So it's exciting to do something that will have a nostalgia element, as well as hopefully attract a bunch of new fans. And this is true. It's interesting. This seems to be one of the only well, no, I don't think Kevin Smith ever really acknowledged this, is that to say it's formative is completely accurate. Because this was Saturday morning cartoon TV, and it was all moralistic. So it was like, you know, eat your veggies and blah blah blah, be kind to people and don't do this and don't do that. It was teaching young kids morals, right? Whereas now it's teaching kids social justice, which is like the new religious moral, I guess. I think things were significantly better back then, but whatever. Me just being old, I guess, or sane. But it is interesting. It's good that he notices that and notes it. So that's good. That's good. But then we've got this interview here. This interview. This is the chap, by the way. Sorry, if you didn't know, I should have shown this from the off, shouldn't I? This is the guy. This is going to be He-Man. I don't think realistically there's anyone that could play He-Man, to be fair. Not that can act as well. Right? Loads of people will go, yeah, but what about blah, blah, blah? And they're like big actors. Well, not big actors, but, you know, muscular actors, not big actors. And you go, yeah, sure, but can they actually act? I don't know. Do you need to act to play He-Man? I don't know. It's all debatable, isn't it? But this ain't He-Man. Let's put it that way. All of this just sounds a bit lame anyway. So the whole film just sounds bloody lame. But anyway, so it says this, right? Well, Nicholas Galitzine has been a leading man for some time. He's now getting the hero treatment. The Bottoms actor was tapped in May 2024 as the star of Amazon MGM and Mattel's forthcoming Masters of the universe, which centers on the all-powerful He-Man or Prince Adam of Eternia. The character was first introduced to the world via a line of popular action figures in the 80s, battling the evil Skeletor. In an interview with W Magazine, the Idea Review star previewed the intense preparation required to play such a commanding figure. No pressure, I just have to embody the strongest man in the universe. Mate, even with all the gear in the universe, you ain't going to be able to do it. So he says there's been a lot of eating and weightlifting, a lot of stunts. I'm eating about 4,000 calories a day, which he's quite a tall guy. 4,000 calories, that's not really anything, to be fair. Like, for someone who's as tall as he is, as lean as he is, unless he's been starving himself for years, his basal metabolic rate would be higher. You know, the baseline would be higher. It would be higher, basically. And he says, but the amount of physical work I'm doing, you end up hungry at the end of the day, which is quite surprising. This is the fun part. Now, I think this is interesting. I mean, that just confirms it to me. You end up hungry at the end of the day. So, well, yeah, obviously, you're not eating enough. It's not all breezy. Galitzin continued echoing similar sentiments shared by actors who've previously portrayed superheroes about the laborious and often cruel work of a strict and grueling regimen. I will eventually go into what's called the cutting phase, where I'm going to be starved and so rude to everyone. It's not true. You don't have to be a dick, and you also don't have to starve yourself. Just as an FYI. From someone that's competed on a bodybuilding stage before, which, yes, I have, if you didn't know that. I competed like 2 years ago, got second place. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to be rude to people. You do feel towards the tail end like you are, but not with all the stuff this guy's going to be on. I doubt that would even affect him. He says, I can only apologise for the person I'm going to become in a few months' time. So as previously reported, details to the film's plot are under wraps, based on the iconic franchise from Mattel. It'll be directed by Travis Knight, who's working from a script by Chris Butler, David Callahan, Aaron Nee, and Adam Nee. These are the only good things on it, but it's from a script, so it's not even... I don't think it's their actual script. The Nee brothers are relatively decent, to be fair. So they did an earlier draft, but I don't know. I don't think this is going to be any good. But that's it, really. And this has just languished around. Previous version of the film was in development at Sony and Netflix. Now that film at Sony and Netflix had a production budget, as in like pre-production budget. I think they spent somewhere in the region of $60 million. Don't hold my word to that. Fact check it for me, please. But I swear it was somewhere in the region of $60 million, which is obscene to then not even produce a movie. It goes to show the waste in Hollywood. But there you go. The latest. Yeah. I don't know. Idris Elba is going to be Man-at-Arms. Interesting. Good actor. Not really Man-at-Arms, though. All of this is, yeah, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. And I quite like this stuff. I think this is fun. I think if you took this seriously, which I don't think that they are, from everything I've heard, they're not. But if you took this seriously, this could pave the way for sword and sandals to replace superheroes. But never mind. Let me know what you think down below. I'm going to go die in my bed now. Take care. Bye-bye now.